What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your host, your family, your friends, whatever you want to call us. I messed up the intro a little bit, but we are back. AAGE Entertainment with your boy Zando and my boy,
Yo, Boogie, what's up, yo?
yeah, El Boogie. What's up, man? So before we get into the video, let's go ahead and get this out of the way because we were kind of talking before we started recording, and
Mhm.
kind of where we were starting at was getting kind of good, so we went ahead and started recording. So just to update on me, this past week, nothing really too big has happened. Just went to work, came home, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. That's catching up with Zando. What about you, Boogie? Anything new?
Same old, bro. Working, being a dad, trying to survive. Ain't really much going on. With a little gaming here and there, but
Yep,
same old.
yep. I feel that. So, which it's funny that he said he ended on gaming because that brings us to our first plot point. Uh, gaming. Actually, let's talk about gaming this year. So in the last episode, we kind of, discussed it a little bit about gaming, but we never really got to go into like a kind of a full breakdown of different things. So here we are. And before we get in, because we're gonna do a top five most anticipated games of the year. Put that in the video. Anyways, so but before we get there, we want to kind of talk about some of the titles that have been out now, that we can kind of go ahead and just get into a little conversation about. So let's start with one of the games that my boy and I are currently both playing, which is Atomic Heart. I think that Atomic Heart is a okay game. Personally, I don't really think it's anything that's like too spectacular or anything of that nature. My biggest drawback from that game, one is the movement is super slow. I hate slow moving games. They just me and slow moving games just don't resonate. I just don't like to move slow. And that's just that. And then another thing I would have to say is probably like some of the platform puzzles in that game are kind of like kind of OP, ridiculous. Player that game. But that's kind of where I'm standing at with Atomic Heart, bro. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but I'm not saying that it's really something that really drives me because, as y'all can see, my streams for that game have slowed down as well. And it's not intentional. It's just some of those puzzles are just hard, bro. And doing that on stream, I ain't trying to be on the same thing for 4 hours long. But I mean, that's just me. So I mean, Boogie, you tell me, bro, how do you feel about Atomic Heart so far, bro? In the time that you played it?
Well, after watching the reviews of it, I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. I didn't see any reviews that said it was a 10 out of 10 or even a 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. I saw about 7 eights, which so going into it, I'm like, all right, it's going to be a solid game. The gameplay is fun. Like you said, the puzzles are a little OP a little bit, but
Yeah, puzzles is stupid.
it's it's still not like a bad game at all.
Yeah,
It's something that's playable. I'm not in a rush to beat it just because the story is not spectacular either, if you're being
it's
honest.
not, bro. The
But
stories. There's nothing that really grabbed me from start of the game. Like from the start of the game, I've been confused, and I'm still confused. Like, don't get me wrong, I get kind of what's going on, but it's like I'm still confused. It's like, what is all of this happening for? Um, I don't know. The story doesn't really draw me in. It's This game is one of those games for me where it's more of the gameplay that's drawing me in. And personally, I don't like that because I like games to be complete. I like a game with a good story and that has good gameplay. It's not like it's impossible to be done. It's been done so many times. But as lately, these companies have gotten to a point where, they don't care about that so much.
yeah, that's true. Like I said, the story isn't is not the best story, but I played worse.
Yeah,
And
I've definitely played worse. Dying Light
and
2.
yeah, we ain't gonna go there. But yeah, well, as far as games that's dropped so far this year, Hogwarts will have to be number one. Like a Dragon for me right now is number two.
Dragon for
Um,
me is definitely number two.
and Atomic Heart, sh by the end of the week, could probably be number four because I feel like Wulong is going. take over the number three spot.
Bro, honestly, Wulong took over the three spot with the demo. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's just me being me. And the crazy thing is about this, because if you guys don't know us in games that have like Souls vibes, and if you don't know what we mean by Souls, we mean Dark Souls, those types of games. Any game that comes from that kind of realm.
Dark Souls, Elden Ring,
Elden
Bloodborne,
Ring,
those
yeah,
type.
all of those kind of games. Now, my boy did play Bloodborne quite a lot. He has progressed through that game quite a lot.
160 hours.
Um, and so he played the crap out of that. And then him and I both played Elden Ring quite a lot. I never beat Elden Ring. He never beat Elden Ring. It was kind of one of those things where, because Elden Ring is one of those games where when you start playing it, you can't drop it and you just pick it back up and think that everything is going to be peaches and cream, because it's not. You have to beat that game when you start playing it. You will lose everything that you have as far as the talent that you had in that game, the way that you move, the way that you play, all the ideas that you're having as the game is progressing, like with how you want to do your armor, what pieces of everything you're looking for, how to loot all this and the third. Oh, you lose all of that when you start playing other games. That's the issue we ran into, because we did go back to Elden Ring. My boy got OP, and him and I started playing the game again. It didn't last long. It did not last long at all.
In our defense, I believe God of War was dropping.
Yeah, God of War was dropping like 2 weeks before we decided to get back on that game. So we only had like 2 weeks to even try to get back into it, but it didn't work because God of War came out and we forgot about it again. But anyways, the point of what I'm saying is Wulong is coming out, and we played the demo for Wulong, and I died maybe like 10, 15 times fighting a basic little tiger monster. But I gotta say that like when it comes to mechanics of how you move in that game, and when it comes to like the fighting styles of that game, there's a certain level of goodness that I like in it. Because for one, there's no stamina bar, bro. Like that stamina bar cheese used to piss me off. Like I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but nobody wants to take a game that serious. And there are people that do. I'm not one of those people. Thank you for no stamina bar. Big plus in my opinion. For one, and then for two, the combat runs quite smoothly. You can do a lot. You can move a lot. You have a lot of freedom and control, and it feels like the inputs that you're inputting into the control actually follow through. So that's what
and
I
it,
like
and it's
about it.
and see the thing about those type of games is like you feel a sense of pride when you beat a boss. Like it's different from most games because like you'll lose to a boss maybe 40, 50 times before you beat it. And it's like the best feeling when you finally beat one of them. So it's like that's why I love those type of games. Even though it makes you want to rage and break your control of your TV, everything. Those type of games is addicting for some reason. So that's why I'm looking forward to that game too. Um, hopefully it's as good as I think it's going to be.
I think it'll be pretty
So,
good.
but going forward for the rest of the year, I guess we could start getting into our top five upcoming games. We already mentioned Hogwarts, Atomic Heart. They already came out, so we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we don't have to talk
But
about those games. They already came out, and truth be told, when it comes to the end of the year and we do our, list for the end of the year as to what games, Atomic Heart is not going to be anywhere on that list. I can tell you that right
I
now.
know it's not gonna make the top. It's not gonna
Atomic
make the
Heart
top.
is not going to make that list. Hogwarts still has a possibility of being on that list, but maybe not for long. Not with some of the other titles that I know are just going to be amazing if they do drop. Some of these games have been announced, but they're not necessarily coming out this year. I.e., Tekken 8. Tekken 8 was announced, but we don't think it's coming out this year. And that's fine. At the same time, I'm okay with it not coming out. I mean, I want it to, but if the game's not done, they don't release it because I don't want no unfinished game. But yeah,
True.
so let's focus on games that we know are coming out. Um, and then we can kind of build a list from there. So I'm gonna use my handy dandy cell phone, because I want to make sure that I'm talking about titles that are actually coming out this year. Because some games that I have been wanting to talk about are not necessarily confirmed to come out this year. So let's take a
Well,
look.
let me start while you look up. Then
Go ahead,
let me
bro.
start
Go
my
ahead.
top five.
I already got my list up now.
All right. Well, starting at number five for me is Dead Island 2. Um, Number four. Matter of fact, let me switch that up. Um, no, I'll keep that right. Number five is Dead Island 2. Number four is Wulong. Uh, Number three is Resident Evil 4. Number two is probably gonna flip flop, but Spider-Man 2. And number one is Legend of Zelda. That's my top five for the year.
Okay, we're gonna get into a breakdown of those games in a minute while my boy's so hyped for those specific titles. But before we do, here goes my list. Um, and I want to, I guess I'll do it the same way. My man's did a 5 4 3 2 1, so I'm gonna do a 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, so starting off at number five, I would have to say for me, it's probably gonna be Wulong. Super excited for that. We already kind of explained why we're excited for that, so we don't really need to explain Wulong. Number four, I would probably have to say for me. See, that's why I know it's gonna be hard. Number four for me, I'm gonna say Final Fantasy 15. I mean 16. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. If you know
Forgot
me,
all about that.
you know me, and the homies know. Like I played literally every single Final Fantasy that's ever been created. Even the MMO Final Fantasy 14, I was on that game for like 6 7 8 months. Like I love Final Fantasy. It's just my thing. Anyway, so Final Fantasy 16 is definitely number four for me. If it comes out this year, Spider Man is my third game on the list. I know you guys are like, whoa, third, yeah,
Yeah, that shocked me too.
that's crazy. But here's the kick. Here's the kick. The reason why I'm putting it at third is just because I don't necessarily know if it's actually coming out this year. But that's not saying that I'm not excited for it. Spider Man is easily probably going to end up being my most memorable game of this year, especially with it dropping. But as far as anticipation goes, I'm just slightly a little more excited for number two, which is Star Wars Survivor. I was a big fan of Star Wars Fallen Order,
Okay.
and
Okay,
hearing some
okay.
of the updates that they brought to the gameplay, it excites me to play Fallen Order. I mean Survivor, and then of course my number one is gonna have to be, which is ironic because I don't have a Switch right now, but my number one is definitely Legend of Zelda. What is it? And the Kingdom of Tears, Tears of the Kingdom, Tears of the
Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah. Legend of Zelda and the Tears of the Kingdom. I'm definitely hyped for that. My homeboy is really the one who got me even more hyped for it, especially with showing me some more details about the game. So it's exciting. Will there be a gameplay of it? I don't know because I don't know if I will have the equipment I need to record off of my stream yet. Um, to not stream, but to record off of a Switch yet. Excuse me, a Switch yet. So we'll see. But it will be getting played, and that's the list for now. And the crazy thing is,
I was about to say too,
so many
before
titles,
you before my bad for
so
cutting you
many
off, but
titles. You good, bro?
I completely forgot about the Star Wars game. So Dead Island definitely getting bumped out at number five, and Star
Bro,
Wars is
Dead
going in
Island
there.
almost made my list until I remember Star Wars.
And also, because you said you don't know if Spider-Man is going to drop this year, which is
Oh
very
yeah,
true.
is it
But
confirmed?
I haven't seen any confirmed yet. But since you mentioned that, Tekken will be probably number two if it was confirmed this year.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. See, that's the issue, bro. With some of the titles not being confirmed for this year, my list has to change. And then it's like if these titles do get confirmed, my list changes again. So it's just
Yeah,
like
my list going to change drastically if the Tekken drop.
bro,
And I
if Tekken drop, man, listen, all you gonna be
actually,
seeing is Tekken and COD videos of Tekken drop.
actually, I thought about another game too, which is like I'm kind of like 50-50 on because I love their games, but the gameplay that they showed didn't look that great. Um, the frame rate was terrible.
Which is
Is
crazy because go ahead.
Starfield.
Yeah. See, honestly, I think Starfield personally, I personally see Starfield flopping just as bad as No Man's Sky did. Um, you
I
know,
don't think it's gonna be that bad. That was pretty bad.
I think it's gonna be that bad, bro. It might not be that bad, but I think it's gonna be like bad. I think it's gonna be bad, bro. I just think it's gonna be bad. I just
But the gameplay that they showed was old gameplay, so maybe they fixed it up. Who knows? They still got time
if
before it
there's
drops.
anything I've learned with these companies, bro, it's never to get my hype up about gameplay until the game comes out because these games be showing us things that you can't even do in the game sometimes. Or, like you said, they show us old footage and then they turn around and quote unquote polish the game, or at least they polish that area of the game because that area of the game doesn't run the same when we see it again. And then the game comes out, and now there's just some magical other frame rate issues, pop ins, whatever the case may be. It's fine. That's fine. The problem is we're not the ones as the consumers. We are not the ones who's demanding y'all to drop these games. That's between y'all and all the company BS that goes on behind the scenes. The problem is when y'all decide to make a deadline for a game, why is the game not ready by the deadline?
Or on top of that, if it's not ready by the deadline, why not just push the
Why
deadline
not
further up,
just
further
casually
back? I
push the
mean,
game back so you can then make more money in the long run? It's like what bro, we not gonna be mad. I can tell you right now, bro, if you grabbed 100 gamers off the street and asked them this one question, would you be mad if a company pushed back a game that was not ready? I guarantee you, out of those 100 people, at least 90, bro, and because you know it's always that one, at least 90 is gonna be like they do not care about a game being pushed back if it means that we get a complete game. Because it's
perfect
just the
example.
truth.
Perfect example. Battlefield. That game should have got pushed back at least a year. The way that shit performed, they just now getting it stable,
That
and it's
game, that
and it's
game
still
came out the
barely
gate
stable.
terrible.
It's like it's no reason that game should have dropped the way it dropped. And that's like somebody saying that, all right, just give me GTA 6 now, unfinished. Why would I want I want GTA 6 at its best. So take the time they need, even though I'm probably gonna be about 60 by the time it drops. But take the time, take all the time you need, man. I want that game to be perfect.
Yeah, bro. I don't mind being an old man playing GTA 6 if it's perfected.
Exactly.
Because I
But I know
mean,
one thing. I better be able to fucking
bro,
walk through every door.
walking through every building, walking through every building is a must. Not even just walking through buildings, bro. There better be some type of like destruction that you can cause. Because I'm tired of being able to drive a car into a daggone bus stop and the bus stop not break or disappear or something like that, bro. Like
Listen, I better
demolish
be able
these
to pull
buildings,
up and
bro. There's no reason why we can't demolish these buildings.
I better be able to pull up and get gas. Like
You feel me? Like bro, and I ain't even lying to you, bro. Like there better be a gas tank on my car. There better be food for me to get fat. I better be able to work out so I can get
yep,
fit again. I better be able to, you know what I'm saying? I better be do, bro. And this is the crazy part about GTA that still baffles me is how do you not take any of your elements from arguably one of the best games I've ever dropped in San Andreas and take those elements and put them into newer games? Because
laziness.
if we had that junk in GTA 5, bro, GTA 5 would be in such a different state. And then GTA 6 would then be prepared to go into another state. And that's another thing, too. But this game is not going to work if they are sitting here trying to make it for PlayStation 4 and Xbox Ones. Cut that out,
Oh no,
bro.
I
We
think that's
don't
dead.
need any more last generation games, bro. This is
I
why
I think
PlayStation
that's dead, bro.
Bro,
I don't think they're
this is exactly why next gen consoles aren't where they're supposed to be yet because they still making stuff for old consoles. And I heard that that was actually coming to an end this year, so you
yeah,
know
for sure.
that's good.
And
That
they
means that
putting
we
the
can finally start getting titles meant for the PlayStation 5. Because I mean, if I'm paying the extra, because think about it, bro. All last year and the year before last, we was paying $70 for games for what? For what? Because it was basically an extra $10 to have two versions of the same game.
true, true.
There's so many titles in my backlog that I have right now, bro, that are PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. It's like
And
that's
it's like they
ridiculous.
made you buy it too, which is the weird
Exactly.
part.
And that's
Like,
the crazy part, bro. Like uh, even the standard edition didn't exist for all games, bro. Like it was just like I don't know, man.
But I don't think GTA 6 is going to drop on the PS4 because it's using the new Unreal Engine, and I don't think the PS4 can handle that anyway.
The
So I don't
PS4
think we
wasn't
got to
built
worry
for that.
about that.
No, I mean,
So
with GTA 6 comes out, bro, there's no reason why they should even be thinking about PS4 anymore. We don't even know when that game is coming out,
by
bro.
the time that game dropped, PS4 and I ain't gonna have no more support on the system. So I'm not worried about that, to be honest. But
I'm talking about in general though, like that. And I get why they do it because it takes a while for people to get consoles, especially with this whole. And that's another thing. If Sony decides to make another system, bro, don't do what y'all did with this PlayStation 5 and only make a small amount of consoles, knowing that you have a world of consumers around you. Like,
well, they
let's
try to
not.
say the pandemic played into it, but
Yeah, I'm sure the pandemic played into it. That's crap, bro. If anything, the pandemic could have brought them more money, bro. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody in that pandemic was spending money and chilling. That's what people was
that's
doing.
that's kind of the
Besides,
problem though.
besides the
That's
select few who
that's kind of the
actually
problem though,
were
bro.
unfortunate in the pandemic, because there were definitely a lot of people that were unfortunate.
If you think about it though, it was a lot of scammers buying at home buying a hundred PlayStations and selling them double the price. So it was like I feel like the pandemic did play a small part into it. I don't think it's the major
Well,
factor,
my thing
but
about it is, if you make something more easily accessible to get, then it shouldn't matter if there's people out here scalping, because people gonna scalp regardless. It don't matter how many consoles PlayStation makes. If they decide to put them online to be sold online, they're always gonna have to deal with scalpers, bro. They're always gonna be there. And nowadays it's so easy. It's not even hard to do that stuff yourself. Like if you really wanted to be a scalper, it is not hard for you to do, bro. Like there's a kid out there who made like millions of dollars just becoming a scalper, bro. All he did was sell shoes and buy them off the websites and then send them off at a higher rate. Like that's all he did. He make bread, bro, and he younger than both of us. Like none of this stuff is hard. The problem is people like us, the average Joes, bro, the people who work hard for what they get and work hard for what they earn, that are just trying to, you know what I'm saying, just trying to get a PlayStation 5 for themselves or for their children. That's where the problem came in with me as a consumer. I'm like, dang, like, bro, my nephew is finally about to get a PlayStation. And it's been 3 years. Like,
that's
that's
crazy when you think about
absurd,
it.
bro. That's absurd.
That is
Like,
crazy.
and the only reason we went so hard with getting ours, because honestly, I wouldn't have got a P5. I would have been fine on my Xbox and my Switch, bro, because the P5 was so hard to get, bro, and I did not want to pay so much over retail, bro. I still paid over retail for mine, like,
We both did.
and it's just like, come on, bro, like we should not have to deal with this, but we do, like, whatever. Hey, I'm gonna get Zoom Pro probably this week because I'm tired of this daggone 10 minute thing. Pop it up. We got 10 minutes. But I'm gonna get that junk this week because I get paid on Tuesday. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
but I
we
mean, go ahead,
we ain't
bro.
got
Go
much
ahead.
more to talk about as far as games this year because it's still a wait and see type of thing because we don't know what's
I mean,
dropping and
there
what's
is
not
a lot
dropping.
to actually talk about. Truthfully, it's a
But
lot of
but I mean,
speculation.
we don't know what's coming out and what's not coming out. That's why
It's
I'm
really
like
a lot of
kind of
speculation.
hesitant. But as far as the games that I want to drop, of course, Tekken is like my favorite fighting game ever. So I want that to drop this year, and that's going to definitely probably replace
Tekken is
whoever's
the
number two.
best fighting game, hands down.
And it's
Don't
like,
argue with
well,
me. And I
we
want a
forgot
pad too, bro. I'm gonna get a joy pad for that jump.
we forgot Mortal Kombat is supposed to drop this year too.
Eh, I don't really consider that. I don't really consider that anything until I know for sure, bro.
I don't know, man. Mortal
'Cause
Kombat
I-
my
and
second
then
favorite
and then
fighting
there's
game.
that too.
So
Like I'd rather them make Injustice 3, bro. Like we didn't need Mortal Kombat 12 right now. We could have waited a little longer.
I guess they don't really know where to go from with that story, but
And I guess they don't, because that's why they not making it. But it's like, dang, how is it that y'all can figure out where to go with this Mortal Kombat story? Y'all can't figure out what to do with Injustice.
but with James Gunn taking over, maybe he has something to do with the next Injustice. Maybe he's involved somehow. So
We'll see. I don't know.
maybe that's something. Maybe that's what the wait
James
is going to
Gunn
be
has a
about.
lot of work to do, man. There's a whole world out here who's itching to see DC come to his greatness. If he can pull that off, then
So
cool.
what you think about the the Suicide Squad gameplay?
Personally, I think the game is mid, but I'm seeing a lot of people around like Facebook and YouTube and whatnot, bro. There's a lot of people praising the game right now, bro.
It's a
Like
lot of people that like it. It's a
there's a lot
lot of
of
people.
praise, bro. There's a lot of praise
I
behind
don't see it.
the game, bro. And
I
I'm
don't
like,
see that
what
shit
are
love.
we looking at the same game? I'm like, there's no way y'all are hyped for this. Like,
I'm seeing Avengers too.
bro, that's how I'm feeling about it. But people, I'm hearing people say it is not in Avengers 2. And I'm like, bro, how isn't it, bro? I'm just like, I don't understand. But I mean, till you stay on, bro, you can like what you want to like. You know what I'm saying? Just don't expect me to like it.
I mean,
I don't.
maybe it'll shock us, but I have super low expectations for that shit. That's just
I
me
mean,
personally.
at one point in time, I was hyped for that game, bro. But the more it got pushed back, the less hype I got about it. And then they dropped that gameplay trailer, and I was even less hyped about it, bro. I was like, all right. I mean,
Man, just give me Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. I don't even need
that's
that shit.
it, bro. And we might not get Wolverine till as early as 2024, 2025, but that's fine because it's coming. Like
It's coming.
build that universe up, Insomniac. I want Insomniac to build that universe up. I know Insomniac is the one who's making the Suicide Squad game, but since we were talking about Wolverine and Spider Man, we were talking about Insomniac. That's their plan. They claim that they're trying to make like a little bit of somewhat of a universe with their games.
Hopefully,
So that's
hopefully they
another
can do the
thing
Hulk
too,
next.
bro. If Insomniac makes another game of a character, bro, who would you want them to do first? Because me personally,
Hulk.
I
Hulk, bro.
I would take two characters, bro. Because you said Hulk, which made me say what I'm saying. I would take two characters because I would love a Hulk game, or and I know that we had one before, but I would love a better one, a newer one, bro. I would love a better, newer Deadpool game, bro.
Yo, you read my you, we here. I was just about to say Deadpool for sure.
Yep,
Like
Deadpool,
A
bro.
Deadpool game with this graphics and
Man, what a
gameplay,
Deadpool game with Unreal Engine 5, bro. Oh my gosh. Just imagine the gore.
that would
Oh,
be brutal. That would be,
oh.
oh man,
Video
yeah.
game solace right there, bro. That would be freaking amazing. That would be
And
amazing.
you know what else? I don't think anybody will ever think about this as a game, but I feel like Blade would be a good game.
Bro, I feel like Blade would be a good game too.
Like I think first off, we don't have any black video game characters, like as far as like superheroes. I don't think we have ever had a video
Oh,
game.
yeah. I mean, there's
So
talks of a Black Panther game being in the works, but who knows how that's gonna come out
that
or
could be
if it
years.
comes out. So,
But I feel like a Blade would be a dope character to do
a Blade
as a
game
video
would be
game.
hard.
Like a
Would be hard.
vampire, him like that. That would be
Bro, a
hard.
good
The
X-Men game would
swordplay.
be hard too, bro. Like
Yeah,
a good like co-op X-Men game, bro. That would be fun.
as long as it's not like Avengers, I'll be good.
Yeah, no. It can't be like that, bro. It has to be like I would tell you,
I
but
wouldn't mind it being like
I don't want
Guardians.
nobody stealing my ideas, bro. Because this is what I do, bro. I come up with video games, bro. So I'm gonna keep those thoughts to myself, just in
Matter
case
of fact,
anybody out there lurking
I'll
them.
take that back. I would mind it being like Guardians because I want to be able to control everybody. So
That's
yeah,
bro. But honestly, Guardians is a good step in the right direction to what I'm thinking of.
yeah,
Like to
yeah.
make it work, to make it be like what we really want, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Wait till AAGE get a gaming company, bro. Cause I'm telling you, bro. We if these companies don't want to do it, then we gonna help them, bro. Like, and I understand there's a lot of
We
legality,
know what the people want, man.
but
We know what the
we
people
gonna
want.
give these people what they want, man. Y'all follow AAGE, y'all's Achieve Greatness Entertainment. That's who we are. That's what we do. And like I said, it's bigger than just YouTube. It's bigger than these videos. We aren't just thinking about this stuff. Like we got a lot going on in the background. And one day, you know what I'm saying, the world's gonna catch up to where we at, and we gonna say, "We told y'all, bro. We had a plan from the start. Y'all just didn't want to hear us." But
For sure.
yeah, so we gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up because we only got a couple more minutes before it cuts off, and we definitely don't want that to happen. So, like I said, we are AAG, Always Achieve Greatness Entertainment. I'm your host Zando with my boy.
Boogie.
And y'all remember to keep doing your thing, keep grinding. If there's something that you're chasing, bro, don't start chasing it just because somebody tell you it's impossible. Just because it's impossible to them doesn't mean it's impossible for you. Keep God first and keep moving forward. And if God isn't your thing, then don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But God is my thing, so I'm gonna talk about it. You don't like it, you don't like it. You don't have to. I'm not asking you to.
Keep doing you.
Just
Keep
do
doing
you.
you.
At the end of the day, do you, because that's all you can do, and you have the power to be great. So go be great. Peace.
Y'all niggas know the vibe.
I'm tryna vibe to this.